And although some may think it's illegal, it's still legal. So it's just all about making sure that I practice it, you know. Bruce Lee mentions it. Bruce Lee mentions
anything dirty will be reciprocated, brother.
Stylistically, when you see a fighter like him, it is not illegal to do certain punches and throw certain punches or hit certain areas. It is not, as long as it's not below the belt line.
Teofimo Lopez says that he's going to fight Shakur Stevenson dirty. That's what he said. He's going to fight him dirty, but legal. That's what he said. No, boy, I can give a... Listen, Shakur Stevenson was like, what does that mean, bro? Hit me in the back of the head? Like, and Chris Mannix was like, he says, I'm not going to break the rules, but I'm going to fight him dirty. That's practically what he said. Check it out.
But I wouldn't fight him the way they fought him. It's just hard, difficult to fight him. I would be mean. I would be dirty because you would have to do everything to fight him because he's just so good. You can't fight. It's almost impossible to fight him clean. It's almost impossible to win a Canelo. That's the credit on how masterful he is. You have to be dirty. You got to be rough. You have to use the elbows, head, bending up. You have to use everything.
Since the face-off, boxing pros have flipped the coin, with many pointing out the exact mistakes each fighter is making, mistakes that are going to be exploited. And now, Tim Bradley has issued a direct warning to Shakur, revealing what he believes is the secret technique Teofimo will use on fight night.
Hey, everybody trying to figure out what this foul or, punch that's illegal or something from Teofimo Lopez. I'm hearing from headbutts to elbows and all kind of stuff. Man, nah, y'all want to know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's basically a kidney shot. That's what he's talking about. Shakur goes up into that what do you call that? Floyd Mayweather type of defense. Yeah, the shoulder roll. Yeah, he turns his back. Yeah, that left hook to the liver. That's what Teofimo gonna be looking for. Yeah, but he gonna hit in the back.
While this fight has been built up as Shakur Stevenson's moment, Tim Bradley believes there's no denying the supremacy of Teofimo Lopez, a fighter who has already beaten 2 Hall of Famers in his career. As Bradley lays out a brutal plan for defeating Shakur, he also asserts that Teofimo is one of the hardest fighters to hit in boxing today, and if Lopez goes on to beat Shakur Stevenson, Bradley is convinced it would put him firmly on a Hall of Fame path.
And if he beats Teofimo Lopez, if he beats Shakur Stevenson, a 3-division world champion, a guy that's perceived to be one of the hardest guys to hit, man. One of the hardest guys. Bro, I mean, look, Teo can write his own ticket, with a victory, with beating Shakur Stevenson, man, right into the Hall of Fame, man, and he can be considered one of the premier fighters, man, of this generation. Seriously.
Meanwhile, the anticipation for this fight has been growing every single day, with many fans backing both fighters and expecting a knockout. But Tim Bradley is riding a different train. He believes there's no chance either fighter scores a knockout in this matchup, even advising fans not to waste their money betting on one. Challenging both fighters' resumes, Bradley points out that neither possesses true one-punch knockout power, and he sees this fight heading down a very different route, one that does not end with a knockout.
Man, that fight going the distance, brother. Nah, don't bet on no KO. Nah, I mean, look, I ain't the one to be telling you what to bet on, but I just tell you this: that the Lopez and the Lopez and Shakur fight going the distance. Ain't no damn way it's gonna be a knockout. Either or, it ain't gonna be. When was the last time Teofimo Lopez knocked somebody out? And Shakur ain't no knockout puncher either. I don't see it, man. Now, statistically, I think it's going to be a distance fight. Yeah. So don't wait. I'm going to tell you, don't waste your money. That's like me wasting my money on Jake Paul. I didn't bet on no damn Jake Paul. I just like trolling, man.
Regardless, this remains a high-level matchup where both fighters bring elite skills. Breaking it down, Wade Plemons believes Teofimo Lopez holds key advantages over Shakur Stevenson. While Shakur is the more defensive-minded technician, Teofimo is the more complete fighter, capable of excelling on both offense and defense, especially as a dangerous counterpuncher. Plemons also points to weaknesses Teofimo may target, including Shakur's hand issues. For Teofimo, the goal will be to draw Shakur in and turn the fight into a true chess match.
standoff where we're both feinting and no one wants to take the lead foot and both guys want to play counterpuncher, that I think that Teo can do both better than Shakur can do both. I think Shakur is probably the better defensive to offensive fighter. I think Teo could probably switch between styles a little better. But if you wanted to take advantage of one's weakness, you would want Teo to try to get Shakur to walk to him. I just don't think it's going to happen. Point being, Teo thinks that Shakur's style of fighting and potentially his hands, I assume, maybe have something to do with that. Like Shakur does have some hand problems. Coming up in weight, if you can't hurt the guys that are bigger than you, and Teo's not like a big 140-pounder, and you look at them standing next to each other, Shakur looks like the bigger guy. But if you can't hurt those guys, and they're good enough skill-wise to hit you, the power's different, the weight is different.
Highlighting the boxing abilities of Teofimo Lopez, Wade Plemons points out that whether fighting on the front foot or the back foot, Teofimo is far superior to Shakur Stevenson in those exchanges. He warns fans who believe Shakur can simply step in and sauce it up against Teofimo, saying that approach won't work. According to Wade, Teofimo has the ability to control the pace of the fight, sway the judges in his favor, and seamlessly switch between offense and defense while Shakur looks to stay cautious. In his view, there are simply more paths to victory for Teofimo than for Shakur Stevenson.
But I do think Teo's boxing ability on the front foot, on the back foot, is going to surprise people in this fight. If they just think Shakur is going to come in and sauce up Teo and that's going to be it, I think people are in for a rude awakening. I think Teofimo Lopez, if you didn't already know, by the fact that he's got a better resume than Shakur, and he's the bigger, quote-unquote, bigger fighter, I think he's going to give a boxing display that's going to be on par with Shakur, and I think it'll come down mostly to who implements game plan better in terms of can Teo get Shakur out of his comfort zone on the front foot and then counter him, or can Shakur do what he does defensively, evade, attack off his back foot. And if that is the case, can Teo sway the judges by being on his front foot and controlling the fight more? That's the way I think most avenues of this fight go.
As the boxing world continues to react to the face-off, one statement from Teofimo Lopez has become the center of every discussion, what many now see as his game plan and primary target. When Teofimo said he plans to do something that some consider illegal, but that he doesn't, Tim Bradley believes he was referring to a left hook to the liver. Wade Plemons, however, sees it differently. Breaking it down, Plemons explains what Teofimo truly meant by that statement, outlining the weaknesses he believes Teofimo is targeting, with one major objective being to break down Shakur's hands, and exactly how Teofimo plans to do it.
What's Teo gonna do? Is he gonna punch him in the hands? That's the play. Oh my God, that's the play. Okay, Teo is gonna punch Shakur in his brittle hands. That's what he's gonna do, right? He's gonna punch him. He's gonna meet his knuckles with his knuckles. Shakur's gonna flick out a jab, and Teo's gonna come with a cross to meet the right-handed jab of Shakur. Break his hand. There it is. That's the goal, dude. 1,000 IQ, 2,000 IQ Teo.
Calling out the most overlooked factor in this fight, Showbiz the Adult weighs in to clear up what he sees as the biggest misconception surrounding Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. He argues that Shakur will have to do far more offensively, throwing consistent combinations and piling up clean punches to win. While Shakur is known as an elite defensive fighter, Showbiz warns that defense alone won't be enough. He even compares the matchup to William Skull versus Canelo Alvarez, noting that champions rarely lose these kinds of fights, and with Teofimo holding the crown, Shakur has far more to lose.
Philly Shell Stevenson, Teo won't land clean, Biz. If Shakur doesn't want him to land clean, he won't. But here's the thing. That means he's gonna have to put defense first, and he may not land clean on Teo. This is what y'all gotta understand. Is Shakur got to land punches too consistently to compile enough punches and enough rounds to win the fight. Y'all have to understand that too. The point of my sparring, the video breakdown, was Shakur got to land on him. And not once or twice, he got to land on him consistently and often enough to compile rounds to beat the 140-pound champion. That's why William Skull didn't beat Canelo. Canelo was the champion. William Skull couldn't pop and beat Canelo. Y'all got to remember that.
Looking at Teofimo Lopez's face-off statements, Showbiz the Adult believes Teofimo's plans are clear. He intends to engage Shakur in a fight without breaking the rules, but will do everything possible to fight dirty. At the same time, he cautions Teofimo, noting this isn't the first time he's taken such a stance, and history shows it's not a strong approach. Referencing Mike Tyson's words, he highlights just how good Shakur Stevenson is and how nearly impossible it will be for Teofimo to succeed with dirty tactics. Tyson's perspective adds another layer of reality, a warning that Teofimo's pre-fight antics could backfire.
Hell no. That's not the first time I heard that. With someone like Shakur Stevenson, who is technically sound, he's extremely gifted, he's just one of those guys you cannot beat in a fundamental way. I heard that concept from an icon, the all-time great Iron Mike Tyson.
But I wouldn't fight him the way they fought him. It's just hard to fight him. I would be mean. I would be dirty because you would have to do everything to fight him because he's just so good. You can't fight. It's almost impossible to fight him clean. It's almost impossible to win a Canelo. That's the credit on how masterful he is. You have to be dirty. You got to be rough. You have to use the elbows, head, bending up. You have to use everything. This guy, as far as his style is concerned, this guy is a master fighter.
Showbiz the Adult stresses that for Teofimo Lopez to technically outbox Shakur for all 12 rounds, he will need to do much more than just throw punches. He must frustrate Shakur, create openings to expose flaws, and blend a mix of clever, borderline dirty tactics with pure boxing. In his view, Shakur Stevenson is one of the most technically sound fighters of all time, and Teofimo needs to recognize that he isn't facing someone who can be beaten by dirty tricks alone. To succeed, he must strike the perfect balance between aggression and technique. Otherwise, the route to victory will be far too long and difficult.
I gotta do all the things. I gotta frustrate him. I gotta fight the guy. If I try to just, for 12 rounds, out technical that guy, I gotta do a lot of things. Maybe a mixture of them things. Be dirty, right? You irritate, kind of like Bernard Hopkins. B-Hop, love you, boy. He was good for that. Do those borderline things, and then start outboxing. Get you out your game, get in your head, and then start outboxing you. Using the athleticism, the power, and all those things that probably try to catch your core. But Teofimo, it seems to me that he's like, I cannot fight this guy when he's tight and on his game. I got to have him I got to create flaws for him.
And with that, Teofimo Lopez's recent statements have set the boxing world on fire, with some, like Richardson Hitchens, warning him to wake up. Hitchens, who knows Shakur Stevenson from their amateur days and has studied his skills closely, believes Shakur is ready to expose Teofimo like never before, and Teofimo may not fully realize it yet. Praising Shakur's technical superiority, Hitchens predicts a long, difficult night for Teofimo. He stresses that Teofimo must take the fight seriously, focus on smart boxing, and avoid dirty tactics because Shakur's skill level is far ahead, even beyond Lomachenko, and Teofimo isn't on his level yet.
Man, Shakur finna both Teo up. I don't know. I'm telling you, Teo better wake the fuck up. I mean, at the end of the day,
you think it's competitive though? It's close.
Yeah, I think it can be competitive.
Yeah.
You know, Teo is real gifted. Shakur is real defensive, and you know, I feel like when a fight is super defensive, it can play against you also. You know, because if you go in there trying to be really defensive, it can play against you. But Shakur's a high level boxer, and Teo ain't on Shakur level. Teo know that, and like I told Teo when I see him, I said it's different. He told me that me and Shakur is used to each other. That's why I feel like it's different. He said Shakur not used to him. So in 2 weeks we'll see.
Gary Russell Jr. has also weighed in, laying out the exact game plan Teofimo Lopez needs to follow to achieve success. In his view, if Teofimo can consistently make Shakur come forward only to meet defensive counters, judges will notice more clean combinations landing, tipping the fight in Teofimo's favor. Russell emphasizes that Teofimo should focus on maintaining control rather than creating chaos, the same disciplined strategy he used to outbox Lomachenko. If he executes it the same way, Russell believes Teofimo is positioned to win.
Physically, you're touching him more than he's touching you. The judges and shit pay attention to that. You know, he can push Shakur on the back foot and make Shakur fight defensively depending on his attacks. It has to be, like I say, he got to do it in spurts. Take them first half rounds. When he fought Lomachenko, if he fights Shakur the way that he fought Lomachenko, that would somewhat poke holes in Shakur's game as far as allowing him to dictate the ring, dictate the revenue of the ring. He'd have to mash the gas, like I say, in spurts.
At the same time, Gary Russell Jr. issues a strong warning to Teofimo Lopez, advising him not to get stuck on the back foot and instead focus on moving in front of Shakur Stevenson, because staying passive would allow Shakur to exploit his calculated combinations and ring IQ. Despite this, Russell believes Teofimo has the power and skill to hurt Shakur, while Shakur lacks the same threat. If Teofimo executes his game plan effectively, this advantage could ultimately work in his favor.
Make him question when he punches. And another thing, he has the ability to hurt Shakur too. I don't believe Shakur has the ability to hurt him. But Shakur it could be a long night too, because if Gordo goes out there, Teofimo Lopez goes out there, and he don't mash the gas and he want to sit on his back foot and wait and try to bull around, Shakur going pot shot his the way through. It's going to be a long night. All 12 is going to be a long night.
As the discussions continue, renowned coach Joel Diaz has also shared his thoughts, favoring Shakur Stevenson. He believes Teofimo Lopez might try to engage early, calling it a boring fight, since he expects both fighters to take a largely defensive approach. While Diaz acknowledges Teofimo has the fire to initiate exchanges, he warns that Shakur's fast-paced movement and defensive mechanics will pose a significant challenge, making it difficult for Teofimo to implement his game plan effectively.
Teofimo, Shakur, I think Shakur. I like Shakur stylistically, Teofimo is a tough fighter as well, but it's gonna be a boring fight. Honestly, it's gonna be a chess game because they're both smart fighters. They're very technical, and they're gonna be very defensive to the whole fight.
And this is coming from those in Shakur Stevenson's camp. Ramon Ordonez has seen Shakur's hunger in training and warns Teofimo Lopez it could end early. Ordonez believes Shakur is on another level and that Teofimo will realize it the moment the fight starts. While he acknowledges the possibility of an early finish, for the most part, he expects Shakur to outbox Teofimo beautifully over 12 rounds, presenting him with the toughest challenge of his career. No matter what happens, Ordonez sees Shakur raising his hands in victory at the end.
I got Shakur. I think it's gonna go all 12 rounds. Shakur is gonna outbox him, I feel like. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was to end earlier, But like I said, I'm not taking none away from Teofimo. He's a great fighter. He's where he's at now for a reason. But I'm definitely have to go with Shakur on this one. I think he's just on another level.
How does he get the job done? Decision?
I think I'm leaning towards decision.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna outbox him beautifully. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with decision.
Do you think it'll be competitive? Tio had that athletic.
For sure.
Have more power, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even more speed.
Nah, for sure. It ain't gonna be a walk in the park.
Yeah,
like I said, two great talented fighters. They both where they at for a reason. It's not gonna be a walk in the park. But I think when it's all said and done, Shakur will be the one with his hands raised.
And there you have it. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson is shaping up to be an electrifying battle. Their face-off was nothing short of phenomenal, with Teofimo hinting at dirty borderline attacks, Tim Bradley calling out a potential left hook to the liver, Wade Plemons suggesting Teofimo may target Shakur's hands, and Showbiz referencing Mike Tyson's view on just how difficult it will be for Teofimo to succeed with dirty tactics against such a technically skilled fighter. One thing is clear, this fight will keep us on the edge of our seats from start to finish. Drop your thoughts below. Do you think Teofimo can pull off his plan? Or is this the toughest challenge of his career? If you enjoyed the breakdown, share the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss updates on this epic showdown. A fight truly being called one for the ages.